Hello everyone, hope you guys are having a good day. It is now March 1st, the start of meteorological spring, and today I'm going to be talking about all of the upcoming storm systems. Now, there's not a whole lot of activity right now, no like major winter storms, no blizzards or anything. But we do have a new storm system I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be talking about that. It's kind of far out, but the models seem to be agreeing on it happening. So I'm going to be talking about that in today's video, and a few other kind of smaller storm systems. So yeah, I guess let's get started. So right now we're looking at the GFS model. We're going to be looking at that first. Well, first of all, I'll start off with saying this: we don't have any severe weather likely in the next 3 days. So that's why we're not looking at that. But we can see right now, if you notice this, we have a lot of Arctic air in the Northeast tonight. We can see the 498 line, actually even the 492 line comes into northern New York, so that's pretty cold air. And if the 498 line makes it all the way down, maybe even into central New York. And we can go look at temperatures with that. Now, sometimes the GFS does have a cold bias. Yeah, you can look at temperatures. Multiple areas in northern New York, actually a pretty wide swath of like Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, almost all of Maine. Northern and central New York could get temperatures around zero, even into the negatives, maybe even up to -10 in some areas of Maine, northern New Hampshire, maybe pockets of northern New York could easily get up to -10, or get down, sorry. We can see teens, we can get all the way down into central PA, northern and central New Jersey, southern Connecticut, southern Rhode Island, and all the way into around New York City. GFS is New York City at 21, but New York City could very well get down into the teens. You can see very cold air in Canada though, -30 up there. So yes, this is pretty cold air for the Northeast, especially for March 1st. That's pretty cold for March 1st actually. So yeah, and then you can see high temperatures Tuesday are pretty low. Okay, so high temperatures at or below freezing. If the color that your temperatures are I don't really know how to say this, so that's why I'm struggling. But I'm sorry about that. But okay, so if it's blue, it's below freezing. That's how Pivotal Weather works. That's why I like their temperature maps, is because the colors I think look better than a lot of other websites, and it's pretty simple to read. Also, is if you're blue or like less than blue, like if you're like purple, then if you're this like kind of deeper purple, that means you're below zero. And if you're in this kind of lighter purple, even almost like a really like light blue, that means you're in the teens. And then if you're blue at all, that means you're below or at or below freezing. So we can see highs tomorrow are in the 20s for most of New York. Extreme southern New York and Long Island, maybe getting up to around 30. And Connecticut, 20s for highs. Rhode Island, 20s, maybe almost 30 in southern Rhode Island, in central Rhode Island. And then 20s, maybe even some areas of Massachusetts. I may not even get out of the teens tomorrow. So, yeah, and then up in northern New York, northern Maine, kind of interior Northeast, it's temperatures that may not make it out of teens, may not even make it out of the single digits in some areas. And some areas could even struggle to get above zero. But that's going to be limited to extreme northern Maine. So yeah, that's that Arctic blast in the Northeast. Now let's go back to precipitation type of the GFS here, and yeah. So tonight we already have we already have another storm system coming together. We have this. This is Wednesday early morning. We have a pretty weak low across southeast Georgia with a lot of heavy rain, even maybe a chance of some flooding in this area. If we had a high right here that was able to bring down enough cold air, could have some snow in this area, but we don't. This happened in January. Maybe that could have happened, but it's happening on in early March. And then yeah, that's pretty much gone by Wednesday evening and by Thursday early morning. And then we have our next storm system. Now this one it's going to kind of follow the jet stream. It's not really going to move to the east all that much. It's going to, well, the GFS has been trending to a more closed off and strong low. It has this is not a strong low pressure at all, but 1,007 millibars is a little bit stronger than what we used to have for the storm system. It moves southeast, bringing some moderate rain like areas like Kansas, southwest Missouri, Arkansas, Texas, eastern Texas especially, Louisiana, and southern Mississippi. And then it moves across the south, brings some rain to maybe like southern Alabama, South Georgia, extreme South Carolina. And the heaviest rain is limited to central and north Florida. And then that is gone by kind of late next weekend. Or actually late this weekend. And keep in mind we do have a lot of storm systems hitting the northwest, bringing a lot of mountain snow and a lot of rain. Now the next storm system I'm watching, this is about a week out. So this is kind of far out. In fact, it's actually more than a week out, sorry. Yeah, here we go. It comes together around let's just say early next week. Let's not look at any specific dates for this. You can see we have a lot of wind in the plains with this. We already have a 995 low right here in northern Nebraska. But let's not point out like specific locations. Let's just say we might have a low, maybe the northern plains or the central plains, maybe the Midwest. We could have it. But we do have some heavy snow in areas in North Dakota, Montana, and the mountains of Wyoming and Colorado. And that moves further east and brings a lot more snow to those areas as it strengthens and goes to northern Minnesota. Now this could be our next, maybe big, not really big. This could be. It's not. I'm not saying it's likely. This does have the chance to be our next severe weather event. That's a bigger deal. Has a chance to be our next severe weather event, like our next slight risk from the Storm Prediction Center. Has a chance to be that. Now, this is far out though, keep that in mind. But the GFS has been relatively consistent with a pretty strong low tracking across the northern plains. Now let's take a look at the European model and see what that is saying. So you can see the European has that storm system. Has a few weak ones coming out into the plains early next week. Just bringing a lot of, maybe some wind. And yes, it does have it. Has it a little bit later, kind of like midweek. We go back to March 10th. We're going to the afternoon of March 10th. Or that's the GDPS, I'm sorry. But yeah, we're going to the afternoon of March 10th. Alright, yeah, this is great. Okay. Alright, so the GFS is low in southern Canada. And the European has it further to the south, actually. So that means we could have snow in more south locations. We don't have a whole lot of cold air with this. We have enough to support some heavy snow. And so the European has a storm system also around early, mid, even maybe late next week. Like a series of storm systems with a few coming up along the cold front and then getting stronger. Of course, pivotal weather being really slow. Alright. Now we can look at the GDPS, which is the Canadian. Pivotal weather does not want to load right now. Okay. Okay, so the GDPS, so this is the Canadian model. It doesn't really show a storm system in this area. It has a ton of them, or not a ton of them, but a lot of storm systems tracking across the central U.S., going into the Midwest, kind of like that. You can see we have several of them. So probably maybe early, mid, maybe even late next week, we could have some kind of stronger storm system. That's probably going to be our next big deal storm system. But yeah, that wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back tomorrow. I'm sorry this video was kind of short. There's not a whole lot to talk about. But yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your day.